Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Decisive Campaigns at Barbarossa. So, this is a really interesting war game. I have had it since 2016, though I haven't played it since then, which is not bad, really. I should have been playing this game. It's quite interesting. I do love the political aspect to it, or like the psychological aspect to it. So if we go over here to start a game, and then I'll show you. I have modded the game. Well, I've downloaded a mod and installed one, which does change the look of the graphics, at least the map. I do much prefer it to vanilla. I will link it down below. Okay. So, Fog of War is on. Now, here we go. And this is the crux of the game. The Eastern Front was a bare-knuckled fight without an empire. To avoid causing offence, the game defaults to a clean ball where all participants adhere to the Geneva Convention. Deselecting this option enables a more realistic dirty war where you'll find yourself having to deal with additional moral dimensions to the game. Note this has been specifically included to highlight the difficulties of operational command, not to promote a particular viewpoint one way or another. Controversial topics have been excluded, but if you have strong views in this area, it's highly recommended that you ask everybody concerned to act as a gentleman. Leave the Geneva Convention option selected. Okay, so we're going to deselect that. We're going to go for dirty war. And obviously something that helps to mirror reality. So we're going to play as the Germans, of course, and we're going to start the game. Indeed. I do like the moral aspects. I like the decisions aspect. I like trying to please other generals or field marshals or Hitler himself, the Führer, as well as different characters. Well, I say characters, but different individuals within the Reich. Let's see. Okay, this is a special pre-turn start. Okay, it would be wise to choose a strategy. Here we go. So yes, I have downloaded a mod to change the look of the game. I think it is much nicer. You guys will be able to see a, probably find some kind of snippet of the vanilla, and you'd be able to see the difference. I do like it. I was tempted to download a mod that was actually going to change the German flags to their actual flags at this point in time. I do find it a little bit revisionist that they change it to there for like political reasons. I mean, come on, this is history. Let's just call it what it was. I mean, a kettle was black. You wouldn't say a kettle was like, I don't know, white, you know what I mean? Right, so anyway, we have our forces here on the embarkation line. But we have to make a few choices to begin with. So go to here. And Geneva Convention. Okay, Frederick Barbarossa. Pre-turn start. Friends and foes. Okay, so I don't know if this is random, but it seems a little bit random. When I started a little test game just to test the mod, I did only have relations with Yoder and Himmler himself, so it's interesting to see it change. Okay, Chief of Staff General Yoder has a strong bias in your favour due to supporting him in his attempt to prevent the Führer or to retreat from Narvik. You start with campaign relationship level +9, so that's pretty good. Military advisor Keitel has a moderate bias against you due to your derogatory comments of his promotion to Feldmarschall last year. Okay. Reichsminister Joseph Goebbels, Minister of Propaganda, has a strong bias against you due to your attempts at preventing him using the Hitler Youth movement to procure young women. Von Lieber, Army Group North, AGN, has a moderate bias in your favour due to your support of Army Group C in their efforts to break through the Maginot Line. We have von Rundstadt of Army Group South, has a moderate bias against you due to your condoning the Führer's intention to be a figurehead general with little input. Right, so that's interesting. So von Rundstadt isn't too pleased that we would rather keep Hitler out of things. Though, we shall see. So we are summoned to Berlin. The Führer requests your presence in Berlin to... the Führer has requested your presence in Berlin in order to agree upon strategy for Operation Barbarossa. Transport will be provided and you are expected to be present and connect to the Reich Chancellery at 1000 hours, so 10 o'clock, on Monday morning. Delegating staff officers to be present in lieu of yourself is not acceptable. The Führer is busy and a prompt arrival would be wise. Yours, General Jodl. Okay, so he's a Nazi and a toady, which is interesting. Okay, so we're going to make a decision here. Right, so it's basically talking about before. So we could have a few choices here. We have about 14 political points at this moment, which I do love. I love the idea of political points. It really does make you choose. Right, support Hitler's plans. Indicate your full support to Hitler's ambitions and strategy. Moscow or bust. You are convicted. You are convinced that taking Moscow is key to success. Demand military independence. Politicians should leave the professionals to persecute the war as they see fit. It turns out I can't speak today. This is what happens every time I do a new recording. I'm going to support the Führer. Right, support Hitler. The Führer is mightily pleased that you have recognized the wisdom of his approach and promises to give you whatever support you require. So this increases our relations with the Führer, which is good. Current relationship is neutral. Right. So again, a bonus here. The Hitler Directive number 21, the Führer Directive. The Führer has listened to all advice and resolved upon the following strategy. No further discussion will be entered into. So strategic intent. Rostov, Farmer Group South. So priority 1, Rostov. Priority 2, destroy army headquarters. Priority 3, Leningrad. Priority 4, Moscow. This will change in time, but that is the priority for now. Okay, a spy at Minsk rail station informs us that a large oil train is scheduled to cross the border at approximately 3 AM on the morning of the offensive. This is part of the regular oil deliveries that we are currently receiving from Russland. We have been told the train will be carrying 2,000 barrels of oil, a substantial amount. Right. Admiral Canaris. Okay, so we can delay the offensive if need be to capture the train. 80% chance of a good outcome. We can ignore the train, capture the train if possible. Delaying the offensive could be very problematic. I mean, the Russians did have a idea the offensive was coming about 24 hours beforehand. They did have right about 2 contacts. They had a contact, what was his name now? I can't quite remember his name. I need to go back and check this. But they had a contact within a university or some kind of economical agency. I can't remember the name. It was one of those. It was like somewhere in like administration or education. And then they had a informant within the Luftwaffe to a degree. I think it was the Luftwaffe. It was a military agency anyway. So they did have, well, information beforehand. Though Stalin did respond to the agent within the German Wehrmacht or the Luftwaffe and told him to go fuck his mother, so that was pretty interesting. Right, okay. Now this one is free and has a 40% chance of a good outcome. So we will take that. I mean, obviously it's a loss of fuel here, but it's not worth delaying the entire offensive, the entirety of Barbarossa, for one train. We'll try to capture it if we can. The train was delayed and our commanders are unwilling to wait any longer. Did I get that? A random percentage is rolled. If it is less than... Okay. Ah, damn. So I think we missed out here. Right. So we didn't capture the train. Oh well. Okay. The Eisenbahn construction battalions are standing by to convert Russian rail to standard gauge, suitable for German locomotive and rolling stock. Actually, might as well read it from here. Advanced plan is crucial as there is a requirement for intensive timetable adjustments to allow the track conversions to take place. We need to know which initial route that you wish to construct. There will be opportunities to change the route later. It is essential we are able to prepare in adequate time for phase 1 of the invasion. Right, General Gerg. Garlands Riga line. Field Marshal Keitel is correct. This decision is below you. Let's take a look at the actual map here so we can take a look. So there's the corner, Sakarnas, which is over here to Riga and then beyond. Okay, so Sakarnas. Luga. So from here to... Not seeing the net city in the line unless it is in fact that one. Right, okay, what we can do then is... Where is it? There we go, strategic map. Let's see. Luga. Okay, so that's Luga. So we go from... Kaunas, or Kaunas, over here. And then we're looking for a D. I think it would be this city. Right, okay, so here to here, and then Luga. Over here. So that's the route towards Leningrad. Oh, this is for Army Group North, then okay, I thought this was just in general. Now... Oops. Riga would be good, obviously, because it is, in fact, a port. But this line over here towards Luga, I think could be... potentially better, as it's more towards the center. It would be decent to have that because it would allow us to support other forces, such as Army Group Center. And the good news is, well, I can avoid these large cities. These cities with red dots are usually garrisoned by the AI. You have like two different types of garrison, like a weak garrison and a strong garrison. Red dot cities are usually strong garrisons, so they're usually quite difficult to take. Like Brest, Litovsk, which is just over here, or Litovsk. Those are strongly garrisoned. So I think we will take the second option there. Right, so I will select that line. So that's going to cost us 2 political points, but we have a bunch of them here. So I'm going to decide. Preparations are underway. General Oberst. The lines Dunoberg will be converted as soon as practically. Okay. Some cooperation from Army Group Center may be necessary. General Gurkha is pleased. Okay. Now, AGC. So we have the Brest-Minsk-Smolensk line, we have the Belarussk, Bialystok, Vilnius line. Okay. So that would be from there to there. And then what, to Minsk, and onwards from Minsk. The usual choice is Brest, Minsk, Smolensk, Moscow, which I will support. This one's too far out of the way. There's no roads, really. I mean, you either have to go this way towards Minsk anyway, or you have to go this way. There's a lot to be said, because I did talk about the aspect of strong garrisons, but AGC is by far the strongest of the army groups, so we should be able to overwhelm them. Plus, we do have the freedom and maneuverability, while in AGN, we do have to contend with the Baltic, and obviously, like, different terrain. Okay, so we'll go with the Brest-Minsk-Smolensk line. So I'm going to choose. Okay, General Gurkha is pleased. Good. It's good to build up relations with him. Okay. Right now, I should potentially be able to see my relations with others. Right. I'm trying to remember how you do it now. It may be just that I can't see this turn. Possibly, possibly. I do have to point out that I'm not experienced in the game. It's literally the first time I booted up in over like a year. Right then, so going back. Motorized the Eisenbahn troop. The rail lines are key to victory in the east. It is crucial that the rail, well, reconstruction battalions can quickly convert enough Soviet trucks to standard gauge to enable the rail to keep pace with the advance of the Wehrmacht. Yes, I understand this is not a glamorous pursuit, but are you prepared to twiddle your thumbs while the construction battalions wait for supplies and equipment to move up by horse-drawn carts? Right, equip the construction battalions with enough truck columns to speed up their work. Okay. Now, so this means that we do have less trucks of the actual Wehrmacht troops to advance. But the thing is, we should find it easier to advance at the start of the war than any other time. So if we can actually get our our logistical network up to speed early, that's good. So we will fully motorize the troops over here. Rail construction is a key element of war effort. If they need truck columns, then they shall have them. So he's pleased. Wagner is not. Wagner is the general responsible for trucks. Gurk is responsible for trains. So we have a good relationship with him now. That's good. Okay. Adjustment to the truck pool. Yeah, so you can see here they've gained 30. Right. The higher their effort, the faster they will convert rail. Various decisions, whether and partisans, all impact on their effort. Okay, good news. Right, so now we have what if options. What if Romania and what if Finland? So this is from von Ribbentrop. We can trust Field Marshal Antonescu. I believe him to be a reliable ally who has the support of the Iron Guard. I recommend he be fully involved in the plan and execution of the Southern Theatre of Operation Barbarossa. He has informed me that the Romanian Forces will be able to launch their offensive simultaneously with the rest of the Ostfront. This option will allow the forces on the Romanian front to launch their own offensive. Right, okay. Trusted allies. Arms length. Maintain status quo. -3 victory points. We'll go with trusted allies. There we go. Antonescu has been brought on board. I've been in discussions with the Finnish Prime Minister, Risto. And he informs me that Finland is willing to sign a binding military alliance with us. I strongly urge that we follow through on this, as it will ensure our Finnish allies launch an immediate offensive on Leningrad once our forces are within striking distance. This option ensures that once either Luga or Narva have been captured, Finland would automatically agree to cross the Finnish-Soviet historical border at -10 victory points. Okay. So there's a double chance, but a 100% chance. That's worthwhile. We're going to go with the 100% chance there. So Finland will definitely join us. They will definitely go beyond their border, which will be very effective in the future, I think. And we have a number of Finnish infantry divisions over here. But the fact of being able to have supplies coming from Finland as well should be supremely helpful. Okay. So I think that's all the choices we have to make right now. Indeed. Okay. Make sure you want to end your turn. There we go. June 22nd. Okay. The morning reports indicate that all armies except the 11th have started the offensive according to plan. Tactical surprise of the enemy has apparently been achieved along the entire line. All bridges across the Volga River, as on the entire river frontier, were undefended and are in our hands, intact. General Albert Franz Halder's diary. The Führer, after listening to all advice, has issued a directive and expects all commanders to adhere to his preferred strategy. No further discussion will be entered into. So Rostov, Strong Army Headquarters, Leningrad, and Moscow. Right. So we have a poor relationship with Field Marshal von Rundstedt. That does give us penalties. Siege artillery is sitting idle in Warsaw. You need to assign theatre artillery support. Siege artillery in Warsaw. The Luftwaffe is fully occupied, obtaining air superiority. 1 division failed to deploy. 4th division pending deployment. 4 decisions outstanding require your attention. Okay. This is a war diary of Soldat, Private Hugo Lurch of the 78th Infantry Division. 4th Army Group Center. Your handling of the 78th Infantry Division plays a large part in Hugo's fate. If Hugo dies or is seriously wounded in any given playthrough, the diaries will cease. Hugo will return in subsequent playthroughs. We've wound back the clock, although perhaps in a different division. Hugo is fictitious, as well are all other characters mentioned. He's one of the vast number of men that you're responsible for. Men that trust you, men who believe in you, that you'll get them home safely for Christmas. To their loved ones. Don't let them down. The happiest man of the Wehrmacht. Jesus. Oh dear. Okay. Okay, yep, learning the UI. Help more trucks, help more trains, help more political points, help more fuel. Okay, so we'll bring this up. Right now, here we go. So we do have a neutral relationship with the Führer. We do have a neutral relationship with Von Brauwitz of Oberkommand of the Wehrmacht. Neutral relationship with Göring. Von Lieb, we are neutral. Von Bock, neutral. Von Rundstedt, we are poor. General Gurk, we have a good relationship, though with Wagner, we do have a poor relationship. Positive. Okay, siege artillery delay chance. So that actually speeds up the redeployment of siege artillery via the rail network. So it'd be there almost 20% faster, so almost a fifth less travel time. Okay, so we do have Romanian troops activated as well for use in Barbarossa. The Finns will activate once we reach Luga on Narva, which is good, so we do have 2 options here. I do prefer this because it prevents us from getting into this choke point, and if I can use the stented terrain to help me out, I will be happy. Okay, now let's take a look at report. Right, the meteorological report. Okay, so temperatures are fantastic, very warm at Rostov. Chances of rain affecting mobile operations is only 3%. Right, spend the Romanian oil fields. In the event of a prolonged campaign, it would be wise to ensure a secure supply of oil. The Royal Navy is expected to interdict seaborne imports, which serves to enhance the value of oil production from Romania. The Palesti oil fields are currently producing around 13 million barrels per year. Under our agreement with Romania, Germany has a right to half this amount. German oil technicians have indicated that it may be possible to rapidly expand the output of Romanian fuels to our advantage. Right, so demand maximum output from the oil fields. See help. Okay. So I could avoid upsetting them. Suggest the Romanians instigate expansion or investigate expansion options. Request increasing. I don't know what the help would be. We will demand maximum output. So there's a 60% chance of that being good. So we'll go for it. Right. The Romanian government has reluctantly agreed to toe the line and has taken steps to maximize its production. Fantastic. So we actually got that then, so we did gain the good outcome here. That's fantastic. Awesome. It's estimated that this will take 40 days. So that's about 10 turns, but 10 turns will have oil production increase. So it has harmed our relations with Antonescu. But we're currently neutral, so that's fine. Okay, Russian oil. Experience has shown that captured Russian gasoline damages Panzer and truck engines. Investigations have concluded that if it requires the addition of benzene to make it acceptable for our engines, refining is the only way to do this in bulk. Allocating refining capacity to this task would enable the exploitation of a free resource. Yeah, so we're going to request priority refining capacity. Nobody's expecting you to invade Siberia. Damn it. Okay, so we failed there. That's a shame. Keitel is unimpressed, so our relations are now poor with Keitel. Alright, theatre allocations. So at the moment, AGC is receiving 53% of our oil, well, our fuel, AGN 20, AGS 27. An opportunity has arisen to tweak the theatre fuel allocations. Currently, Army Group Center has the largest share, but this reflects the fact that Field Marshal von Bock has 2 Panzer Group under his command, 2nd Panzer Group Guderian, and 3rd Panzer Group Hof. Right, we are currently configured for a balanced advance through all 3 theatres. This is a safe German's approach. Okay. I am, in fact, going to stick with this. The reason being it's well balanced and it allows us to respond to changes in the future. Whereas if we advance too heavily in one, then we may suffer because the other 2 may not be able to advance to any sort of standard that we need. So we're going to stay neutral. Will the world end if you choose to ignore this? Mein Gott, man. Speak up, will it? No change. Right. Reports are in from all 3 Luftflottille commandants. It appears our initial air offensive has been an outstanding success. In fact, it's hard to believe that the extent of our victory, but reconnaissance flights have confirmed what the logical mind can't fathom. Initial estimates are over 2,000 enemy planes destroyed, most on the ground, at the cost of approximately 40 of our own planes. Fragmentation bomblets used against runways were found onto occasion, exploited prematurely, and this has accounted for about half our losses. The few enemy fighters that did manage to get airborne were easily dealt with. A poor level of pilot training was evident. It is important not to forget that we are fighting a primitive people, and we should not expect them to have harnessed the power of flight to achieve military aims. Nor should we be surprised when they manifestly failed to take even basic defensive precautions on the airfields. It will be a short campaign. Hermann Garland. Cancel the air offensive. Order the Luftwaffe to switch to supporting troops on the ground. Maintain the air offensive for 4 more days. The Red Army will find it difficult to operate, but no ground support will be available. Maintain the air offensive for 8 more days. The Red Army will find it difficult to operate, but no ground support will be available. And then 12 more days. That is a cheap option. We can go for 12 more days. I want to try and achieve air superiority. And it was good that... Then again, it was really goddamn critical having the close air support. But at this stage in the campaign, at this stage of Barbarossa, due to the actual geographical constraints, like the geographical area of the theatre of operations not being as large as it will be in the future, I think we can actually afford to be without close air support for this time. I do have the smallest distance between me and actual logistics in Germany and Poland, so I think I will maintain the offensive for 12 more days. The reason being, if we can knock out the Red Air Force, then that's good. Right, Göring is pleased. Von Brauwitz is unimpressed. Right, so still with us. The offensive will continue to target transport, choke points, command bunkers, vehicle depots, and... See, this is quite important, actually. Okay. Daily log of Army Group North. The Finnish government has not agreed to go in beyond... What? Right. Okay, that's, that should change once we reach Luga. I think it's just showing that now because this is like, historical, but once we do reach Luga or Narva, it will change. Okay, Von Lieb is willing to consider new ideas. Okay. Theatre commanders were old school, infantry-centric thinkers. The new age, hard-driving Panzer Group commanders were a breed part. It's a different type of warfare. Our theatre commander will only provide high staff level assets and specialist brigades of Panzer Group under his command if you have a positive relationship with him. As this is the case, you may select a Panzer Group in the theatre to benefit from the command focus. Von Lieb has not determined the command focus. Okay. So Von Lieb is open to Panzers. Okay. So we've had our truck pool diminished. Yep, plus 13, now 160. That's fantastic. Right, truck maintenance. Okay. So at this moment, 17% of the fleet is in for maintenance. Which is not bad. That leaves us 83% of the fleet ready for action. Okay, logistical pipeline. Okay. 2,000 barrels of fuel expended to support Panzer Group Blitzkrieg posture. The Führer is willing to consider alternate Panzer Group dispositions. Theatre artillery. Okay. Ammunition stockpile, siege artillery Warsaw. Overall partisan level and risk of activities plus 0. The Luftwaffe. Main airfield is at Tillist. Quality 113, fine plus 3 upgrades. Okay. The quality of an airfield will improve each turn. Provided the weather is fine, engineers are soon to be upgrading runways and improving hangars. Damaged planes are repaired and put back into service. Right. The quality is capped at 120. So we're almost at peak performance there, at 113. Their fuel level is 100. Net effort. Okay. AGC. And once again, 113 capacity. Right. So it's -7 from all of the army groups, so that's fine. Right, Von Bock is one to consider new ideas, though he has not determined a command focus. That's because we need to set it. Okay. The 110th Infantry Division 9th Army Headquarters failed to deploy, so we've rolled a 68 there. Right, AGS. Von Rundstedt retains his article thinking. Von Rundstedt is currently not determined a command focus. A poor relationship with Field Marshal Von Rundstedt. Right. So one of the subordinate headquarters, so General Albers von Stupnagel. I don't know how the hell you say that. Is suffering a penalty. Right, so 210 here in AGS. 180 here, 160. Right, so that's a nice boost to everywhere, especially to AGS. I mean, that's a massive boost there. Taking us over 200%. Truck maintenance. Right, 21% of the fleet here is out of action. 20% of the fleet. So roughly 1/5 of the fleet is out of action for each army group. But that's not too bad. Okay. 99th Light Infantry Division is expected to deploy soon. 20% chance. 20% chance. 1st Hungarian Motorized Division expected to deploy soon. Right, not bad. Okay. Right. So 5,000 barrels are going to AGN. 13,250 barrels going to AGC. 6,750 barrels going to AGS. Okay. Intel. Upper Commander der Wehrmacht is Intel confidently estimates Russia to have no more than 213 divisions, 154 infantry divisions, 25 cavalry, 37 motorized or mechanized divisions, vintage tanks and armored cars. Troop quality marginal, mostly peasant conscripts. Okay. Civilian population expected to favor our arrival, especially in the west. Okay. Win by capturing whatever the Führer's #1 directive, well, #1 priority is in Lake 41. So our priority then is Rostov. Okay. Decisions review. Right, so we failed here. Okay. Aide de camp. Okay. Then we have Panzer Group reports. Logistics. Rail capacity. So, Army Group North is 24 trains a day. The actual is 24. Centre, 38 trains, and they're receiving 38 trains. South is 32, and they're receiving 32. So we are doing good logistically here. Right. AGN, AGC, AGS. Okay, so we lost 58, 78, 58. No permanent losses. The infantry and artillery using 100 each, so that leaves us with 135 in the north, 215 at AGC, and 135 in AGS. Okay. So these are left available to the Panzers. Right, so, that's quite lengthy. So now if I click on the different theatres here, so I mean these red lines here dictate the theatre boundaries of the two, well, of the three army groups, I should say. So north, centre, well, north, centre, and south. So you can see here in the north we have 6,000 barrels of fuel, 15k in the centre at this moment, 8,750 in the south, which is fine. Okay. So with the 11th Army over here, we have the Romanian Forces. Who are you attached to? Let's see. So if I go to Order of Battle, we can go to... right, so that's High Command. We have Oberkommando der Hess, or der Herr. So we have AGS. So we have 1st Panzer Group, 17th Army, 3rd Romanian, 11th Army, 4th Romanian, 6th Army. Right. So that is 3rd Romanian. We have 4th Romanian over here. Sweet. AGC, we have 3rd Panzer, 2nd Panzer, 9th Army, 4th Army. North, 4th Panzer, 18th Army, 16th Army. Okay. So. 2nd Panzer. 1st Panzer has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Panzer Divisions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So obviously the most Panzers are in the centre. 4th Panzer, 1, 2, 3. Okay, only 3 Panzer Divisions. Not a huge amount, but we'll have to make it work. Right, so our priority here then is to take Rostov. Now Rostov being all the way over here, quite distant. If we are able to take that in late 41, then we can apparently win the campaign. I doubt we'll be able to get there. We need to consider logistics here. And our priority. Now then, let's see. If I press 0, that hides the units. If I press 2, that reveals them. So we're going to press 0 here to hide them. Well, sorry. Yep. There we go. So we have headquarters here and here. Now trucks go to headquarters. So the way it works is basically you have your supply depot here. You have 3 main supply depots. So we have Königsberg, Krakow, and where is my other main? It's probably, yeah, there we go, Warsaw. So Königsberg, Warsaw, Krakow. Those are 3 main supply centers. In the future, we'll have supply depots or forward depots. We'll have to designate them. So, trucks are coming out from these main depots. If we were to take Brest-Litovsk, I could change that into an actual depot. But all we need to do is take Karnos. Ideally, if I could take Brest-Litovsk, I doubt I'd be able to do that. Lvov would be great. Taking 3 cities to base our supplies from. The range of trucks is about 10 hectares, which is roughly equivalent to 300 kilometers. That is the limitation of the trucks. Any further than that, and the efficiency of transport of fuel becomes negative. Basically, you use more fuel to actually carry that fuel than you do, well, than you actually get out to the end where there's less fuel available, the trucks are using more fuel than what is actually available on that distance. Okay. Right. No. So we have Soviet troops over here. We have a commander. So, we have 8th Panzer, 3rd Motorized, and 1st Panzer. The terrain here is forest, so it's not great. Marshes over here, I do need to avoid that. So what we need to do then is basically cut the rail lines. So I need to cut these rail lines somewhere here. Ideally here to prevent the retreat of any of these. Okay. And over here as well, try and prevent some forces from retreating. And if I cut the rail line here, then these forces can't retreat via rail. They also don't receive supply via rail, which is good. Okay. Right then, where do we want to begin our attacks? Let's see. So there's only one division here, the 23rd, 126. We have 5th and 128th. The terrain here is pretty shite. What we need to do then is probably... so we have the 23rd tank and we have the 125th division. Infantry division. If I could approach like this and come around from the north to take Kaunas, and then Vilnius, that'd be great. Also, it would open the way up to Minsk for AGC, and otherwise the cities too. Okay. Now then. So, relations are mostly neutral. Poor with von Rundstedt, good with General Gurk, and poor with Wagner. But that's fine. Trains are incredibly important. They are going to be the ones that win the war for us. Trucks are great, don't get me wrong, but if you're using trucks, then something's going wrong. Right, so let's see. I need cards deployed. So if we go over here. Now we can see we have the postures of the different army groups. So we have Blitzkrieg, Sustained, Defensive, Blitzkrieg, Sustained, Defensive. If we take a look at our forces here, you can see these forces are in Blitzkrieg posture. So that increases their offensive combat bonuses, but they require extra fuel, and it actually, well, basically slow divisions such as infantry, they accumulate more fatigue. Unit details. I've not seen fatigue, but we might see it in the future. Okay, Panzer Group. So it shows you the level available. Okay, the score. So German objective is Rostov. Okay. Right then. Luftwaffe. Resupply artillery. Now then. I have siege artillery for AGC. Order your dedicated heavy siege artillery to invest a location. Requires a division adjacent to the city on the rail line connected to the current siege artillery location. So basically, our siege artillery is in Warsaw. So I'm going to play this card. Now, I can have it deployed either in Dublin or just outside Warsaw. We are going to have it deployed to Warsaw, or just outside, well, from Warsaw to Brest-Litovsk. Right, siege artillery will be dismantled and prepared for transport to location 30 kilometers southwest of Brest-Litovsk. It's estimated this artillery will arrive, barring delays, in 4 days. So 1 turn, it'll be there. The siege artillery security unit has been removed from the map and will return once the artillery reaches its destination. Okay, so the siege artillery is going to be here just outside Brest-Litovsk in 4 days. Okay. Focus. Artillery. Counter battery. So basically that's offensive, that's offensive. What does that cost me? So I can choose a unit to deploy it upon. You have to select a headquarters, I believe. Or is it only infantry? So I could play on 18th Army. To an army or concentrate them behind a certain corps. Or division. Okay. So we'll have it allocated to 18th Army. There we go. Estimated it will take 4 days. Right. So reconnaissance points, zone of control, action point penalties, stack penalties, victory points. Okay. Right. Right, siege artillery ordered to 30 kilometers southwest of Brest-Litovsk in transit. Okay. Counter battery AGS. Artillery AGS. This is going to be required. But we do need to take a look at AGS and how it's going to advance. Thankfully, we do have 2 Romanian armies to join us on the first turn, which does give us a major boost there that will allow us to do so much more, so much easier. So let's see. We have Lvov over here. Taking Lvov would be a fantastic move. As far as we can tell, there are reserves over here to the south and to the center here, just outside Lvov. So, I mean, we have 30 kilometers out, we have 2 potential divisions. 60 kilometers out, we have another 2 divisions, plus the front line. So, disposition of AGS. We have 16th Motorized, 11th Panzer, 25th Motorized, Viking. Right, there we go. So we have the forces of 2nd Panzer Army over here. 11th Panzer. Okay. So this red indicates offensive bonuses. This blue indicates defensive, well, bonuses. So at the moment we have a 50% offensive bonus and a 25% defensive malus. So we have 75 Panzer IIIs. We have 50 Panzer IIs and only 30 Panzer IVs. 50mm AETG, so anti-tank guns. Okay. So what we need to do then is basically break through here. The best way to do this, in my opinion, is we drive through with the infantry and we force the 41st Red Army Infantry Division out of the way. The way it works is with trucks, is basically they head towards your headquarters, and then from your headquarters, by the way, your headquarters has to be within 5 hexes of units for them to be supplied. So basically, they will follow the headquarters. So if we go outside of this rail line here, or transport network, we receive maluses, or penalties, basically, due to assuming that in this open terrain there is such things as basically like dirt roads and peasants' tracks and goat tracks, shit like that. And you do have to imagine, I don't know, say you're driving a truck down a country lane. It's bumpy, that's going to affect the transmission, it's going to affect the, just everything. It's going to affect the breakdown rate of the trucks. Now imagine you're sending hundreds of trucks over that every single day. Imagine how many are going to break down within a week. A lot of them. So we need to avoid doing that. So what we need to do then is we need to travel down this road here because the breakdown rates are going to be far less and the transport network is going to be far more efficient, as we can then send trucks up here a shorter distance. So we have 3rd Cav and 141st. So 31st is in an ideal location to allow access to Lvov. So what we need to do then is travel down here to the outskirts of Lvov. We have nothing here as there's mountains. I don't think I'm going to make any moves this turn, well, this session. Mostly because I just wanted to do like all the setup, and we're already 48 minutes, 49 minutes almost in. So we'll do that in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you would like to see more of this series, and, well, actually, if you would like to see the series, then do comment down below, like as well, so I can see how many people want to see this. And, yes, if you've played this game, do let me know what you think down below. Also, hints are always appreciated. I do have to stress this is my technically 2nd time playing, but only the 1st time seriously playing Decisive campaigns, Barbarossa. And I'm really happy to be able to say Barbarossa because it's one of those cool words I just like saying, like Barbarossa, Barbarossa, Barbarossa. Yes! It feels good. It's like Bloody Mary. If you say Barbarossa into a window 3 times, then a spectre of General von well, we're powerless appears, so yes, there we go. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. I will leave a link down below to where you can find the game, as well as where I got this mod from. So, goodbye for now. Have a great day, or evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. See you all very soon.